Hey, what's going on, Guardians? TBL here, and in today's video we're continuing our conversation about the weapon tuning changes that came into effect with Update 2.4.0. Now in this next part of the conversation, Blkvox and I discuss the changes that have come to auto rifles and shotguns, explaining what those changes mean and giving our thoughts on how we think they'll affect the Crucible and Destiny's PvE sandbox as a whole. As usual, be sure to let us know what you think of all these changes down in the comment section below. I tried to cut this one to be a little bit shorter than the previous video, no 17 minutes of us rambling on this time, so don't worry. But alright, without further ado, let's continue on with our discussion about the weapon tuning updates in 2.4.0. Hope you guys enjoy. Oh man, but let's move on here. The next class we're going to be talking about is auto rifles. And auto rifles are going to be seeing a small change, certainly nowhere near what we were both hoping. When it comes to them, Bungie states that with new auto rifles being introduced in Rise of Iron, playtest revealed a decrease in the importance of reloading. High rate of fire auto users had enough bullets for multiple encounters. We do not want players feeling starved for ammo, but creating an opening for opponents to attack is an important part of the combat dance for Destiny. Middle rate of fire autos also received a small damage boost to help with damage fall off, but the resultant damage does not drastically change its time to kill. So what they've wound up doing is they've reduced the maximum magazine size for the highest rate of fire auto rifle family. Think anything like the Doctrine of Passing or the Arminius D. And they've increased the damage of the middle rate of fire autos by 1.5%. So stuff like the Hakon's Hatchet, the Paleo Contact JPK, the Righteous 7, the Hardline,
Fabian Strategy,
Monte Carlo,
hey.
Fabian Strategy.
Hey.
Those have all seen an increase of 1.5% in damage. So almost a 2% damage increase, which is good. That archetype of auto rifle definitely needed an increase.
Wait,
I'm not too mad
doesn't
about.
That include Hardlight?
Yeah, Hardlight, Monte Carlo, pretty much all the exotic auto rifles except Suros Regime.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, speaking of Suros Regime, the high impact autos. This is what I was disappointed about here. Nothing. We've got no change coming to the high impact autos. They're still going to have that really demanding time to kill, and they're still going to suffer. I'm not too mad about the change to magazine size for the Doctrine of Passing. I agree you probably shouldn't be able to take out 3 people with one Doctrine magazine, and so I'm not too mad about that change. I'm happy with the 1.5% damage increase for middle rate of fire autos. What about you, man? What do you think?
For the low impact, it's kind of like an indirect nerf to its DPS because you're going to spend a lot of time reloading. So that's time you're not spent pushing out ammo. So that's what they did to try and nerf its DPS, is reduce the number of targets you can kill per mag, have you reloading more often, more downtime, and more opportunity for you to get sideswiped or challenged with like a shotgun or something.
Yeah.
For the mid impact, it's a start, but it's not exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping for more of a 3 to 4, maybe 5% damage buff, and then
Same here.
With the low rate of fire and high impact, I was expecting big things. I was expecting them to actually bring the class back to form, because right now the Crucible doesn't have a lot of options, and instead of power dipping, which is what they've constantly done over the past year, it's just a stale meta to play in currently. Like, there's not a lot of variety, and I want that, especially in the auto rifle class, which I love it so much. It's just that none of it's viable except if you have a Doctrine or Arminius with a god roll, or a really decent roll. It pains me, but it's a good start. Like, it's a good step in the right direction. I really want this to continue. I want to see a trend of this coming, because I want my Galahad E that I have sitting in my vault to be good again, as I still have a blue auto rifle from year 1 sitting in there, because it was the thing that held me down for 2 months, and I love it so much. Same with my Shadow Price, Grim Citizen, what's the other one? Grim Citizen, Vanquisher, all those year 1s. Oh my god, just makes me happy to look at. I'm sad at the same time. Like, I'm happy to look at you, but I'm sad because I can't use you. It's just a constant struggle, and until Bungie gets out of this mindset that they have to power dip everything and slightly tread on the thin ice and bring stuff up slowly, we won't get a big change or shift in the meta. It sucks. We just have to, deal with it.
Yeah, and the point you made there about medium rate of fires, I was hoping for more of somewhere in between a 3 to 5% damage buff. Mercules, the guy who makes the best Destiny guides ever, he posted a thread about that a couple of days ago, saying what he'd like to see, and that was basically his point. He'd like to see about a 5% damage increase to the medium rate of fire autos, which would put them in line with having a similar time to kill for the fast rate of fire ones, without really overshadowing them. And so, I was hoping for that. Basically, a 2% damage increase is good. It's a good start. I think they might need a little bit more than that.
They're going to.
Again, the high rate of fire auto, the high impact autos, they need a buff. They just do. Right now, they are some of the most useless weapons. I think the only weapon class currently more useless than the high rate of fire autos is like
you mean high impact?
Or high impact autos is like mid impact or high impact pulse rifles.
Right.
That's pretty much it. But those are the changes coming to auto rifles. Not too much to expect there. Whether or not we'll be getting anything more, we'll just have to see after Rise of Iron comes out. Alright, so when it comes to shotguns, Bungie stated that while strong against combatants, fast-firing shotguns have generally experienced low uptime in PvP. Well, I guess if you're not counting like the Chaperone or Invective or something like that. The following changes are meant to sweeten the value proposition, starting with everyone's favorite Titan-class weapon. Right, because a Mobius is definitely your favorite weapon as a Titan, right, John?
Right.
It's easily the number one thing you use every single time you play Void or Bubble Bro.
Nope.
But Mobius is seeing some changes. One, they've decreased the spread on its ADS, so it's going to have a tighter spread, I'm assuming that means, while they've also increased the base stability of that shotgun by 60%, which is, that's a pretty strong change. Mobius is meant to be a shotgun that you use from inside your Titan bubble anyway, so having better stability and a tighter spread, those are both buffs I can live with. Not bad at all. Additionally, they've reduced the spread angle penalty on shotguns with the full auto perk, although the invective will not be affected. Not quite sure what that means, actually.
So, if you're wanting a good shotgun that has full auto, I think it's the New Monarchy vendor is actually selling a Burden of Proof with full auto, isn't he?
It's either that or it... Okay, yeah, the Crucible vendor used to be selling a full auto shotgun. I think the New Monarchy vendor is selling one now that's full auto, though. Yeah, you might be right about that. Not bad.
Well, just check the wares, see if there's a full auto shotty on sale. If you want some Crucible marks, or not Crucible marks, wow, I'm stuck in year one. If you want some Legendary marks to spin, that would be a good place to go.
Not a bad place to be stuck, by the way. Year one was pretty good. It was a pretty good time in Destiny.
Bring it back, fam.
Bring it back.
I'm having PTSD.
Bring it back. I need my hand cannons, man. The final change, they've increased high rate of fire in the lower mid rate of fire shotgun damages by 2%. So they've gotten a 2% damage bonus. I'm actually not quite sure what all. I mean, that's the dry rot archetype. So maybe the stolen will. I don't know what else is really in that tree though.
Burden of proof.
Burden of proof. Maybe in times of need.
Possibly, yeah. I'm not too familiar with a bunch of the shotguns, but I'm pretty sure anything that isn't Party Crasher, Fell Winners, Matador type of levels of impact will be getting a nice, modest 2%.
So everything that's not the top of the class Crucible shotguns right now. Basically.
Exactly.
That's okay. I'm okay with that. I wonder if that'll affect the Invective. They stated that the full auto change isn't going to affect the Invective. I wonder if this is going to count for it.
They didn't say, so it's probably yes. It's going to affect it.
All right, well, I'm always good with damage bonuses, especially for shotguns in PvE. They got a little bit of nerf to that not too long ago, and I thought that was unjustified. Alright, and there we go. That pretty much concluded our discussion, for the most part, on the changes coming to both auto rifles and shotguns. And as you guys can guess, while I'm happy that mid-impact autos are getting a bit of a buff, I really wish that Bungie would pay a little more attention to the high-impact autos, the stuff in the Suros Regime or the Grim Citizen category, because those things are really hurting right now. They're definitely not in a great spot in PvP, or really in PvE either. But those are our thoughts on these changes. Be sure to let us know what you think down in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching this video. Next up on our list will be our discussion about the changes that have come to pulse rifles and sidearms, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But alright, it's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.